Good afternoon and welcome to this afternoon's webinar on Spier Hotel in South Africa. I'm going to give it a minute or so before I actually start the presentation because it always takes people a while to log in and to connect. But maybe in the meantime, you can put in the chat box where you are logging in from around the world. I flew back from South Africa Friday morning, but I'm now sitting here in rather wet and grey Wiltshire. But yeah, it's always nice to see where people log in from around the world. So do let us know in the chat where you're coming from. And it's nice to see how international these webinars can be. So let me just quickly see Latvia. Wow. Hi, Anna from Latvia. Lovely to have you join us this afternoon. So I will start this afternoon. I'm Anita from Small World Marketing, and we are delighted to be working with Spier Hotels outside Franschhoek. Sorry, not Franschhoek, Stellenbosch. It's not a good start. So we've been working with Spier just for the last few months, and I've just come back from visiting the hotel. So I thought what I'd do is give you a brief update on where the hotel is. It is currently undergoing a huge rebuild, relaunch in terms of the hotel itself, but the farm is actually as it was and as it has been for quite a while in terms of the offering, and that's what really excited me, and I hadn't anticipated and hadn't realised, and that's what I really want to tell you about today. So Spier Hotel itself is only about 30 minutes from Cape Town Airport, so it's super accessible. It's just outside Stellenbosch. It's just really the kind of entrance to the kind of Winelands area itself. So really easy to get to, really easy to navigate around. And one of the things we were talking about as a team is actually potentially having clients to be basing themselves at Spier, and then using that base to explore Cape Town from, because it's so easy to get into town. It's about an hour, less than an hour into Cape Town, obviously depending on the traffic, and only half an hour from the airport. So the hotel itself, I'm sure many of you would have heard of over the years. It was really known as more of a conference and incentive focus. It had 160 rooms. It was quite a big hotel, catering more probably for the more mid-market. And the family who own it have decided to really change that. And they want the new development to be more reflective of them as a family, and really to be more in line with what they offer on the farm as a whole as well. So it's undergoing a total kind of rebuild, relaunch. So anything you thought about Spier before, forget it. It's going to be totally different. It's opening in March next year. So some of the images I'll show you are still building site images, so you have to use your imagination. But essentially, this illustration shows you the kind of the layout of the hotel itself. Now, as I said, the farm itself is huge. It's 1,500 hectares, so it's enormous. The farm area, the picnickery, the manor house, the shop and everything is totally open and running as normal. It's just purely the hotel area that's closed and is a building site. So it's going from 160 rooms down to 80, plus 2 3-bedroom villas as well. Those 3-bedroom villas won't be open until later on next year, but the rooms themselves, everything will be open for March 2025. This illustration shows you the village, so the actual accommodation. And then this area here is the restaurant, bar area, swimming pool area. We've also got a wellness spa, and we've got suites as well as luxury rooms. I'm not going to go into those in too much detail because I know that we have some of you who've already attended our previous webinars we've done with Austin and Jolene from the hotel itself. So I'll give you a very quick overview. So all those 60 are rooms and 12 are suites. We have 2 bedrooms and 3 bars. Cool kind of glass building overlooking the river. And then the Buzz Club, which is our kids club. And then our big focus will be our wellness and spa. And a big part of that is driven from our organic garden that has been going for many years. And we actually have a medicinal herbologist who I met when I was down there, who's working with the spa manager to create these amazing products to be able to use in the spa. So it's really the whole farm, the whole philosophy is about organic. It's all about regenerative farming. It's really pioneering what they're doing beyond just the hotel. So just to flick through this quite quickly, this is going to be the new reception area in the hotel, a new bar, and then you see the dining area behind. And this then will go on to a beautiful wine tasting room or private dining room. And then out the back to our area, it's going to be more like a kind of breakfast bar area, beautiful big terrace. And everywhere, the gardens are going to be utterly beautiful, quite kind of natural, not too manicured, very kind of natural in style. This will be the kind of the garden room, which is where the hotel guests will have breakfast, and then obviously the pool as well, and the bar area. This is the ground floor bar area, and then we also have this upstairs bar area as well, the roof bar. This is obviously, these are not for professional images, as you can see. There's us and our hard hats, but it's quite interesting for you to see the development in terms of where they are now, the bathroom, and it's amazing the team of staff they have on site. They're just phenomenal, like going through it at a great pace. So it's really, really exciting to see it come together. One of the rooms was actually totally finished by the time I was there as well. So if any of you are down in Cape Town, or any of your colleagues down in Cape Town, then really, if you go to the hotel, obviously you have to make an appointment, but they can actually literally now be able to show you what the rooms will look like ready-made. So whilst a large part of it is still a building site, they do have a showroom ready to show you. So this is the whole style of the room. So they're going to be on two different levels. So a ground floor level, which is more wood flooring, and then this first floor level, which is more carpeted to obviously contain the noise. But very kind of natural, very reflective really of the colours and the vibe of the farm itself, which is all very natural materials, lots of kind of plants and very kind of organic. So lots of wicker, really beautiful fabrics they're having. The bathrooms, I think, are lovely, quite kind of, I suppose in a way minimalist in design, but just really kind of simple, but very, very beautiful. And then this is one of our suites. So we have a separate lounge area and then a separate bedroom area as well, and they're on the ground floor. Our wellness bar is a really exciting addition. So they've got 7 treatment rooms, and all the treatments, as I say, a lot of the treatments are being created in conjunction with the spa manager and the medicinal herbologist. When I was down there, Austin, the CEO, had just come up with, he'd been meeting with the garden designers, and they're going to create a what they call apothecary garden. So guests can actually wander through this garden, and it's full of herbs that are really kind of powerful in terms of medicinal uses. These are some of the products they've created already. I can personally vouch they smell delicious, amazing, and really, really good. Obviously all organic. But a big focus is going to be about celebrating where they are and using the plants from their gardens. They're going to do different treatments, including a kind of a tea bath, a tea bag bath, essentially is what it is, where you get in a bath, you'll sit with your medicinal herbologist, you'll come up with, I suppose you'll tell her your ailments, and then she will create a kind of a concoction for you, really, that you then can have in this bath and be totally immersed in it. So it's super exciting. I suppose in a way it's like, it's a bit of a combination of like stereocopy, which we know is very, very, very focused on health and well-being and wellness, but also taking an element of that, but also running it as a normal hotel. So if you had guests who weren't into this necessarily, they didn't have to be involved with the spa, but obviously it's a major part of our offering, and it's super exciting and very pioneering what they're doing. So this is obviously an artist's impression, but it's very nearly there in terms of design. Then on the floor above, we have this Pilates studio where they do wellness and Pilates. So in terms of our family offering, we have the Buzz Club, which is for kids. So because it's quite a large plot, and the Buzz Club is actually located on purpose on the end, they've got a garden they can open up out into. So if you do have guests who are honeymoon couples or don't want to go near kids, then it's actually located so it won't really kind of impact on their stay at all. Again, very big focus through the Buzz Club on the natural environment, getting them out into the garden, getting them into the farm, and just doing some really cool activities within that are themed with the Spier kind of philosophy behind them. So then in terms of the actual offering elsewhere in the farm, so this area here is the kind of the accommodation, that's the kind of building site, but then the rest of the plot is actually, as I say, is open as normal. So they have I mean, I was really blown away by how much there is to do on the farm. I was there for 48 hours and we were kind of on a tour literally for like a day and a half, just going around, seeing everything, doing everything. You really could very, very happily spend at least, I mean, 2 nights would be absolute minimum. You can almost spend 3 or 4 nights here and base yourself here, go into Cape Town, use it as a base to jump off from to go into Cape Town, but also have this, get out and enjoy the farm, see the gardens. So starting from left to right, sorry, Catherine just raised her hand. I'm not sure. Catherine, if you can write any questions you've got into the chat box, that would be great. So starting from left to right, we have our food garden. So this is run by an amazing lady called Megan, who's been there for about 15, 20 years. And it's all organic. And it's not just about being organic, it's actually about being regenerative. So they have chickens that they then use that in terms of the fertilizer, but also even with chicken feathers, they'll then create into mulch and put back into the soil. It's really, really amazing what they do. And what they've been doing for a long time, and this is what I don't think was realised about Spier, is that these guys have been working on these pioneering methods for many, many years. So even during COVID, they worked with Megan herself as a teachers at the Living Soil, which is an amazing sustainability initiative in conjunction with Spier and with Woolworths. And during COVID, they actually started a growing food for the community. Megan got 13 gardeners to come and she taught them how to garden. And they were supplying 600 families per week with produce for them to feed and live off. And 10 of those 13 gardeners decided to stay and become full-time gardeners. So it's incredible the impact beyond Spier in terms of wider community. They also have, so you have the food garden, and guests are welcome to go and look around that. What we're trying to set up at the moment is like every day there'll be certain guided tours that you can go and do. So whether it's a food garden, whether it's going to look at the winemaking with a winemaker, whether it's going to see the farm, whether it's going to see the art there is incredible as well, which I'll talk about in a second. But the main part of the farm really is this kind of central green square, and that's where the picnickery is, where the deli is. This building along here is a cowshed, which is a most amazingly dangerous shop. The manor house is our exclusive use building. That was obviously the original manor house. And then Vedas is a restaurant we've got here, which we work very closely with a friend of the family actually who runs that, who's an amazing guy. He does really, again, all about organic produce, all about kind of smoking meat and yeah, really yummy, more kind of lighter food. So it's more kind of almost more cafe style, and then the restaurant in the hotel will be more kind of formal restaurant. But then you also have the cowshed is a shop, and then down this end you've got the hotel and the villas. But this part in the middle here also has so much to offer. So they have this incredible. This building here is the original wine cellar. It's one of the oldest wine cellars in South Africa, and that is actually an art studio or an art exhibition studio. So they have rotating exhibitions being put on every few months or so. There's over 1,000 pieces of works of art dotted throughout the farm, dotted throughout the hotel. So there's so much to do in terms of art as well. And we had the most fascinating tour from the art historian, the curator of the property, who was just amazing in terms of bringing in, really celebrating Southern African art and telling you about the art, but also the story and the history of how it and why it got there. Spier obviously is very well known as a wine farm. It is a wine farm. And one of the experiences you can do is go to go and see the winemaking with the winemaker, Johan, the winemaker. They make 12 million bottles of wine a year. So it's a fascinating process they go through. And you can go, I mean, it is a factory, but it's still really interesting to see the process they go through. This is just a short video from the factory. So then also they offer the picnickery. You can book get your little picnic basket from the picnickery, and they lay the picnics out like this, which are really beautiful. And that's on the grass lawn, but you can take them anywhere you want to in the farm. So obviously I went this time of year. It was still quite chilly, so there weren't so many people out. But at weekends, it's just amazing in terms of the number of people they have having picnics throughout the farm. You also then have our manor house as our exclusive use. Property as well, where they can do private dining, private experiences. Bubbles and Briars are more kind of informal, dining experience. And then we also have our deli as well. Our shopping, the cowshed shopping, is incredible. It's yeah, dangerous, but it's so enjoyable, and they're all bought locally with a purpose. So they all are showcasing and just in synergy really with Spier's philosophy. This is just a couple of videos I took to show you this just the variety and the gorgeousness of the items for sale. So as I say, all supporting local artisans, local products, and then you obviously have the wine and the produce from the farm down one end of the shop as well. This is all the spa products they're creating again from the farm, and then just yeah, beautiful photos of the property. So yeah, in terms of the variety of people it works for, so I think Spier is big enough to really absorb lots of different segments. It's great for kids. We have different areas where kids can climb. We have our elemental play garden, which is incredible to walk around. It's all about, again, using water, using natural stone, wood, trees. So it's very much a really beautiful for parents decision as well. I would have been quite happy sitting here when my kids were causing havoc. But yeah, just quite a small area, but again, set to one side so it's not impacting too much on other guests that are there without children. But just really beautifully designed, loads of places for kids to hide and play hide and seek and just explore and play, you know, very naturally. And then, but also in terms of people it works for, great for kids, great for couples, great for art lovers. So I think what really struck me about Spier is just how it really caters for all different segments. So if you have clients who are interested in art, this is unbelievable in terms of the showcasing and the pieces of art they have dotted throughout the property. This is an amazing mosaic, and Spier was part of the slave trade. They used slaves. It was part of their history, and they really acknowledged that. And this is one of the artists, the pieces of art they have to speaking about the slaves and their history, and it's made up of pieces of mosaic. So as you walk near it, you can't really see it's one image, and as you walk back, you can see it's this very powerful image. They also have a really cool setup whereby the art they have, they've created little MDF, as you see here, little MDF kind of frames, and they have given these to local artists, and they get them to do paintings on these MDF frames. They then buy them back, but not all of them. They buy certain numbers of them back from the artists, and they then sell them to guests that are coming to Spier. So those artists have a guaranteed income. Spier is buying that art from the artists, and it's up to Spier to then sell that art. But it also means that not only are they supporting the artists, but they're also supporting people who are starting to collect. And these are really cool, these little pieces of art, because they're dotted throughout the whole hotel. So if you're sitting in Vedas the restaurant, there's art on the walls behind you. So anything you see and you like, you can then go and buy. And they've got on the back of it, they've got information about that particular artist. So they're really celebrating and supporting local artisans. This piece in the middle, so Dick Eindhoven, who's a family, the Eindhoven family owned Spier, and he was the father. He sadly passed away, but he was really passionate ambassador and supporter of Southern African art. And he actually commissioned this piece in the middle, which is a piece inspired by Michelangelo's Pietro, I think it's called. And what he did is actually the artist flipped it around. So the actual original Michelangelo one is with the it's that, yeah, in this instance it's supposed to be, it could be interpreted as Mary holding Jesus, but in Michelangelo's it's flipped the other way around, so the man is facing the other way. And in this one, what's really incredible is he has created, there's lots of synergies, but he's reversed it, and what he's done is he's actually created it out of maize meal, which is obviously the kind of the I suppose base ingredient for most meals throughout the whole of Africa. And so he's created, and this is about 25 years old, this piece, and it's been all around the world. But it's incredible, it's absolutely beautiful, and it's actually made out of maize meal, which is just amazing. And you can just wander around, you can see, you can touch it. The other piece of art that I loved is on the right-hand side here, is basically this artist who got rocks from the Karoo desert, and she's bound them together with this kind of almost copper glue, and when you go near it, it makes a sound, and it's a very powerful sound. And within each stand, within each plinth, they have an amplifier, which when you put your hand on it, it makes it go louder. And I think I've got one. That's me on the farm. I think I have one. No, I will follow up, and I've got a video of me actually because when you put your hands in there, it creates this amazing, very powerful noise. So in terms of getting out, you've obviously got the gardens I spoke about, you've got the farm. So this is me with the chickens. So one of the experiences a guest can do is to get out into the farm, see that it's much more than just a hotel. And one of the key people behind this is Farmer Angus, who's actually the son. He's married to the daughter of the owners, and he's a brilliant character. And one of the things you can do is first thing in the morning is when guests want to, they go out and let the chickens out the chicken coop, which is actually a really fun experience to do. They have 6,000 chickens on the farm, and the farm is all based on they rotate the cattle around twice daily. So no one area of the farm is totally kind of ruined by the cattle. It's constantly being rotated around. So it's a very, very advanced and incredible way of farming. The other project that I love that's on the farm is called Treepreneurs. This is run by a lady called Leslie, and what they do here is they have little seeds, and they create tiny little saplings, and they work with the community, and they give the community these tiny saplings, and they encourage them to grow them into bigger saplings. And they then buy those saplings back off them with vouchers. And those vouchers are used in shops to buy food, bicycles, whatever it may be. And this is an amazing project. It's a really, really strong community initiative. And when I was there, Leslie, I couldn't meet because she was actually out in the community, working with the community in terms of this project. But what I loved is you can wander around her kind of area, and she is, I mean, talk about taking recycling to the max. Everything you see, if it is a container of some sort, has been filled with these amazing plants. So it's just so fun to go around and actually see. So here, obviously, you've got an old printer, you've got an old fridge, you've got an old pair of trousers. We had a handbag, we have footballs, you even had a urinal that had saplings in it. So it's a really fun thing to go and see. And again, she's a real character, and you can speak to them a lot about the work they do in terms of the community. And this has been going on for years. This is not just a new initiative. So that is a kind of, what I'm going to do now is just show you, hopefully this is going to work, a film of a Spier. But I wanted just to give you an idea of how, the fact that it's a well-known brand. It has been around for a while, and it used to have a cheetah sanctuary, used to have eagles on the site. That is all gone now. So it's almost like a total relaunch, total revamp, and really kind of going back to their core philosophy and their core being, which is essentially about the farm and the soil, but also the art and the wine. And so it really is the most fascinating destination for lots of people to go and stay at. It's opening in March. I'm going down again the end of January, so I'll be able to update you after that, because I'll obviously be far more progressed in terms of the development. But it's a super exciting property for us to work with, and the team behind them are just amazing, really, really pioneering, really passionate, really, they're very, very clear on their core values and what they want to offer. And so I think it's going to be a very exciting, and it's also really well priced. It's very, very well priced. The whole philosophy was they didn't want to go super high end. They wanted to actually to be great value for money, and to really encourage guests who have these different interests, who are interested in, the spa or the wine or the art or the farm, and have a variety of guests, not just guests that are looking to stay in the most expensive place in the Stellenbosch area.
The story of Spier is a story of the land and also the story of the people. We see ourselves as custodians of the land. We want to leave the land in a better way than we found it. So we're guided by a very simple philosophy. We're good to the land and good to people. And those values are encapsulated in Growing for Good, which is really just who we are. It's the values that underpin everything we do. Wine is our North Star. We have this team of extraordinary winemakers and over 300 years of heritage.
The philosophy at Spier is to really take it right back to the dirt, to the soil. Because ultimately the soil is where everything starts. When you taste our wines, you'll taste something in the wine that you can't really put your finger on. And I would like to think that that's how we work with grapes, how we work with people. You really feel that sense of place.
In nature, there's no such thing as waste. And at Spier, we recycle 97% of our waste. All our water is recycled and used back onto the farm. We take our food very seriously. We have an incredible garden. A lot of the food is grown on the farm, and that food ends up on your table. We see art as a tool for transformation. Art has always been part of the Spier DNA, and a lot of that art you can see around the farm. We want people to come and visit and enjoy this farm. It's a place where people can reconnect with their senses, eat delicious food, drink amazing wine, and reconnect with each other. So Growing for Good is really about collaboration. Everything we do at Spier is in collaboration with incredible people who are passionate about what they do.
I mean, we're only here for a short time, and while we're here, we must make a difference. We look after the land, we look after our people, and the wine shows the result of that.
So that gives you a little bit of an idea about their philosophy, and I think it's just a very beautiful film that a lot of the people I met are featured in that film. And I think what's really lovely is that passion for the soil, for their expertise in terms of wine, farming, art is being filtered down through the hotel, and the designs, the quality, the style of the hotel I can see they're going to be absolutely exceptional. So it's very, very exciting. So yeah, March next year. If any of you are coming to We Are Africa, do let us know, because we're going to do a very cool 24 hours recovery either before the show or after the show, where you can come and have a spa treatment and just relax at the farm. So yeah. So I don't think there's any questions. If there are, please drop them into the chat box. But thank you so much for joining me this afternoon, and I will I'll keep you updated with Spier and the developments, and then very excited about you coming to visit it in the new year once it's open. Thanks very much.